HitFirstBoxing.com. We're in the house with Oscar DeLaHoya. Oscar, first things first, November 8th, you broke down the wall. I mean, that Cold War everybody was talking about between HBO and Showtime. You broke down that wall. Congratulations, you're on HBO November 8th. It's been a minute. How are you feelings on this whole thing?
Look, one brick at a time. That's you can't break the whole wall down overnight. It takes a lot of hammering, a lot of sledgehammers, and a lot of man hours. I think we're on the right track. I think that the Golden Boy Promotions is all about making the best fights happen, and it's happening November 8th. You know, it's like I said. I mean, look, you don't have the Yankees play the Mets, you know, every weekend or every month, or you know, it's an event when it happens. Well, this is what this fight is all about. An event that doesn't happen very often, but this is what the fans deserve. I mean, the best fights. This is the best fighting the best.
Now, your close friend Bernard Hopkins, he's fighting Kovalev. A lot of people don't want to fight Sergey. They don't want to walk in the ring with him. He stepped up to the plate. He said, "I want the best." He's not scared of no one. How do you see the fight going down?
I believe Bernard Hopkins can either make it a very tough, long night for him, or he can toy and play with Kovalev. You know, that's who Bernard Hopkins is. It's either or, and I believe that Bernard Hopkins will have the best night of his life.
This weekend, Adrian Broner's fighting. How you see that fight going down? Maybe.
You know, a lot of people think that Adrian Broner is going to have an easy time. Taylor's not a walk in the park. It's going to be a very tough, long night. You know, Broner, he's gifted. He's talented. He has the work ethic. He trains hard. He's a good champion.
But did we overhype him? Because they were talking about him being pay-per-view 2 years ago, and then Maidana. Looking back, did we overhype him? You think? Did we overstate him?
No, not at all.
Not at all. You think he's still that, Oscar?
Broner.
Yeah.
He got derailed against Maidana.
Yeah.
Then right now he's trying to put the wheels back on the train. I mean, that's on the rails. That's basically it. He's still the Broner that people believed in. You know, he's still that Broner. He's just, you know, he got derailed.
On the topic of Maidana and Mayweather rematch, how you see it? And you know, better question: if you was in the corner of Maidana, what would you tell him to work on to get in on this fight?
Well, he's already been telling me what he's gonna do, and that's throw more jabs. That's basically it, and use his distance more. Take one little step back.
What you did?
Maybe about 2 inches back, because if you noticed, Maidana was punching and just missing by inches. You know, he was punching over him. You know, just missing by. If he takes a little step back, I mean, it can be a whole different fight. But I loved what Maidana told me. I didn't have to tell him. He told me, you know what? Wow, when I threw the jab, I landed it at will.
Okay, now say.
He said conditioning was a big problem for him in the first fight because he had a shorter training camp. You know, his wife was having a baby and everything. So how important do you think it'll be for him in that fight that he's in better condition for this?
No, he's in better shape, but I think he was too anxious. He was too anxious, and Maidana, he's a fighter who throws everything with power, and you know, you get tired. You get tired. You tense up and you get tired. I mean, look, this fight can be a very difficult fight for Floyd. We might see a surprise, or Floyd might adjust, and we might see a walk in the park for Floyd. So it just depends. It depends who adjusts better.
Oscar?
With Oscar, do you think with Floyd that it was the same easy Stokes said, and he couldn't handle a young, strong buck? Even in Maidana, not on the farm with the training and with the baby coming along, he still couldn't handle being as strong as him.
Well, it eventually has to catch up to you. It eventually has to catch up to you. So, look, in this game, Eventually, everybody loses. That's the bottom line.
Oscar, how important was it for you? You obviously had a great career with HBO. They promoted, not promoted, televised all of your big fights and everything.
Right.
How big of a step in the right direction is this to reestablish a new relationship you have?
No, this is yes, a step in the right direction. I believe you know we've had a wall in front of us for a long time, and this wall is not going to go down so easy. I mean, it's one brick at a time. We have to knock it down. So this is a step in the right direction. We've started knocking down that wall. So. And there's no holding back now.
Oscar, what is next for Danny Garcia?
Big fights. I have a meeting with Bob Arum next week. I'm going to mention to him Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao. But yeah, Danny is in for the big fights now. Danny must fight the big fights. You know, because Danny's such a talented fighter. I mean, raw, brute strength and talent and speed. He's ready for the big fights.
Last question. When will we see a Polish fighter in Golden Boy Promotions?
I'm sorry, what?
When will we see a Polish fighter in Golden Boy Promotions? Like you said,
Hopefully
Kovalev, he came knocking on the door. I mean, how did that situation went down? Was that true?
I don't even remember that situation. Let's put it that way. But it'll happen soon because we know the ability, you know, the strength, you know, of Polish fighters. They're hungry and they fight, you know, and determined, you know, and it'll be soon.
Oscar, we were talking about bricks in the wall, and you said, quote, this wall is not going to go down so easy. I'm wondering, of all the bricks in the wall, how big a brick is Al Heyman? And is he an impediment or a help towards bringing down the wall?
No, he's a manager. I mean, there's no impediment whatsoever. You know, it's up to the promoter to make these fights happen, and we're going to make them happen.
What about unification? What does that mean? You're old school.
Unification is, look, if this fight's a unification fight, and therefore you have the best fighting the best. We don't see this very often. We don't see this very often. We do plan on having more unification in the near future.
You working with Bob, that's very positive.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I've talked to Bob several times now, and we're going to sit down next week and discuss the possibilities.
Anything on the table? Anything that is there on a wish list of let's talk about this, and this with Bob?
Well, we're on the same page with Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao.
Okay.
Which could be very interesting.
Yep.
That's a good start.
Great start. In retrospect, a little time has passed and it's not so sensitive maybe. Were you maybe angry or embarrassed at the Garcia-Salka fight? Because that was a scary moment. It looked like Rod Salka didn't really belong in there. Were you embarrassed? Or maybe I'm putting words in your mouth. Maybe it just is what it was and Garcia is that powerful. But a little time has passed. I'd like a sort of clarification on that now.
Danny Garcia did what he had to do.
Yeah.
And Danny Garcia has faced Amir Khan. Danny Garcia has faced Mauricio Herrero, and he faced Peterson, Matisse, Eric Morales. I mean, this kid has been, wow, he's been on the roll. Yes, when I heard Salka was made, I kind of cringed a little.
You did.
But he did what he had to do. He passed with flying colors. And so now it's time to move on, and now we're talking about Manny Pacquiao.
We move on.
Wow.
How do you think you would fare against me?